All right, so we've already established in an earlier Facebook Live that consumer debt is stupid. But there's this gray area with debt where people get confused or justify themselves when they maybe shouldn't. The most obvious of the smart ways to get into debt is the home loan. Basically, nobody can buy a home without one. And it is smart debt as long as it meets some requirements. Number one is that the loan provides a way out for both you and the lender. The debt is secured with collateral. The loan is for something that appreciates, which of course a house usually does. The loan is for something that has a life expectancy of more than 3 years, which a house usually does, and that the interest rate is reasonable. Also, I would add here that just because you qualify for a home does not mean that you can afford it. The general rule of thumb is that you should never have total debt payments equaling more than 36% of your gross income. And don't forget to add in the insurance, taxes, HOA, and other fees when figuring out how much home you can afford. So then car loans do have collateral, which technically makes them secured. However, usually a car loan is only wise if the amount you have left to pay on the loan is lower than the car's market value. A new car loses about 20% of its value as soon as you drive it off the lot. So that wouldn't qualify as a wise loan. If you could only sell your car for $5,000 and you owe $8,000 on it, then it's not wise debt. And just like the home loan, if you can only afford a car that you can realistically afford the payments for. So then we get into the major gray area, the student loan. It's really difficult to say whether a college education is going to appreciate or pay itself off. There are people who claim that they didn't end up using their education like they expected, and yet they still have to drag those loans with them forever. My husband worked his way through school, which took a long time, but he was able to finish with very minimal debt. So basically it's a pretty personal choice. Then you have the HEL, the home equity loan, which is where you can basically borrow back the money that you've earned in the equity of your home. So all the equity that you pay down is basically earning you a credit line of a certain amount. While this can technically be smart debt as well, it depends on why you are borrowing it. For example, if you're taking it out to pay off your credit cards and then racking them right back up again, then you're left with twice the debt. And also you're risking that your home might not be worth the total that you've borrowed against it. And then you no longer have a way out of it. So, now that we've established some perspective about spending money in the past several videos, next time we get into the really exciting stuff, for me anyway, exactly what you should be doing with your paycheck when you receive it. So, stay tuned.